I'm Jennifer, and I practice environmental law in California, mainly guiding businesses and commercial and industrial property owners and investors through our legal landscape when environmental issues arise. So here's a fun topic for today: insurance. Insurance sounds like it should be easy and boring, but especially when it comes to environmental issues, it can get really complicated. This is just one of a few videos that we're going to have on the topic, but for now, I wanted to use this video to just define a couple of the terms that can arise if you have an insurance issue and you're looking for environmental coverage. So first, let's start with the concept of coverage. All insurance policies have specific terms that define what the policy will pay for, how much it will pay, and under what circumstances. This is definitely one of the trickier things to understand about insurance, and there's a lot of misinformation and assumptions. We see people who assume that there's just no way insurance will cover their problems. And on the other side, we see people who thought that they were covered by insurance and it would take care of their situation, and then they find out it doesn't. This is going to be very fact specific, and it's going to depend on the type, the language, and the age of your policy. Next, let's talk about the type of event that can trigger your insurance coverage. Sometimes it's enough that there was a spill or you've discovered historic pollution, but other times there needs to be a legal action, such as a government enforcement or a lawsuit. This is going to be policy specific. But if you ever hear about people who want to get sued or they ask to be sued, often it's because they need to trigger the insurance coverage, and that's the only way they can. Next, there's the concept of claims made. It's a pretty common term that refers to when you have to ask the insurance company to get involved. It's going to depend on the terms of your policy, and that means you have to be especially aware of the timing of when you report an issue or legal event. This is definitely one area where, as soon as you're aware of a potential situation, you have to think about when to report it, or else it might not get covered. So that leads us to what happens if an insurance company gets involved with an environmental claim. One type of coverage is the concept of defense. It means that the insurance company will pay for your legal representation and legal costs, and they'll usually hire a lawyer to help you defend against a claim and limit your liability. There's also the concept of indemnity, where the insurance pays for the environmental damage to try to put somebody back into the position they would have been in but for the environmental conditions. Honestly, this video could go on for about an hour just defining various insurance terms. But for our clients who are facing environmental problems, these are some of the most important concepts. And more importantly, it's why it is so important to hold on to copies of all of your insurance policies, because all these terms I've outlined depend on what your policy says. If you have any questions about what to do if you're not sure if you have a situation that could be covered by insurance, schedule an appointment with us and we'd be happy to meet and talk about it.